Ah, hello. Hello, ladies. I believe that we are live now. Yes, we are live. Hi, I'm Linnell, and welcome to day number 7. This is day 7 of the daily lives, and we are on day 5 of the 5-day series of the 5 biggest losses women can face after leaving their career. And this is take 2. Right when we get through with this, I am going to call the Zoom people and figure out how I can never have my Zoom muted again, because for some reason I continue to struggle with turning the mute off or unmuting it. So here I am. Hi. I'm Linnell. Welcome to day 7. And today we are talking about number 5 of the 5 biggest losses women can experience after leaving their career. And this one is motivation. And if you think back to the other 4, we've got loss of identity, loss of self-confidence, loss of fulfillment, lack of meaning, loss of commitment, community, and a sense of belonging. And if you think about experiencing even one of these, you can see how the motivation in your mojo can really get kicked, right? You've got lack of identity, how you're motivated to go do what, a sense of belonging, loss of, lack of community, you feeling lonely, a sense of loneliness, there's a lack of motivation to go out, right? So, you can look back at the other 4 and see how that could really impact a sense of motivation and really take some effort to get out of your pajamas during the day, right? So it was interesting. I did a Google search before I wrote out, I had written out some of the things that really had helped me. And I did a Google search to see, well, is there something else out there that might be helpful? And I came up with things like stay positive and be flexible. And I'm like, well, that's dumb. I mean, if you could stay positive, wouldn't you? Right? If you could be flexible, wouldn't you? It's like when you get to the point of a lack of motivation, you're beyond the self-talk, right? You need a little bit more than, okay, I'm going to be positive now. So I didn't find a lot that was helpful. But here's what helped me. Here's how I am able to, and this isn't, again, we said this yesterday, this isn't a one and done, life happens. But what helps me is, number 1 is to go outside. Now I know it's 110 degrees out, but even now, go outside and consider yourself part of the wonder of nature, right? Everything has an ebb and a flow. Everything has a cycle. And for example, looking at the trees and how the leaves are changing, and especially now in this terrible heat wave that so much of the country is going through, if you look at the struggle that the animals, the trees, the plants are going through, I don't know, for me, it gives perspective to what I'm going through. I'm not the only one. And not that it makes me feel better to have company of things in nature that are struggling. And it just gives perspective, because we are all part of this crazy universe. And we all have stuff that happens. And for me, it gives me perspective. And even on a good day in a beautiful fall weather, going outside and seeing the leaves turn or the leaves fall or the plants evolve or the nature changing, burrowing down for the winter, whatever. It just makes it easier for me to feel a part of something and to understand that this is part of life. That was number one, get some perspective. Number two, and so many times the phrase, the saying of you can't see the forest for the trees is so helpful, because I tend to get down into the weeds and start fretting about this little detail. When you look up at the whole forest, you realize that this too shall pass, right? That how, again, a perspective. However, I think when we get into this place of the lack of motivation and feeling lost and like we're floundering, is in part because we're looking at the forest, right? And we're looking at our life, and we can't see the tree right in front of us. For example, there's another phrase, right? How do you eat an elephant? You eat an elephant a bite at a time. And if you look at a whole flight of stairs, you're not going to bound up the stairs in one jump, right? In one leap. You're going to take it step by step. So for me, is to narrow the focus from the forest to the tree in front of you, and think about what is one thing that you would like to do or learn or find out, right? Is it you want to visit France? Do you want to declutter your closet? Do you want to redecorate your bedroom? Do you want to learn to play the piano? You're like, what is something you would enjoy? Anything. And do one thing today that would get you that one step. Doesn't have to be anything major. Go and Google flight fares to France. Go and Google piano lessons near me. Go and stand in front of your closet. And what is the first thing that you would like to accomplish in decluttering? You know, just pick up shoes off the floor. Just one thing, right? And tomorrow, do one more thing. The next day, do one more thing. Just do something. And in a week or two, not only will you look back and see progress, along the way, something else might present itself that will direct you in a direction that you would not have been presented with had you not been taking these little steps, right? Low risk, low effort, one step a day. Okay, so that's see the trees, not the forest, when you're in this kind of a position of floundering. And then the third thing is, again, it is self-talk. Separate that person in your head that continues to talk shit to you, and just tell them to sit aside and find your own coach, right? Everyone needs a coach. I have a coach. Physically, I have a coach, and I also try to be my own coach and coach myself like I would you, like I'm coaching you now. I try to bring that person into my head when I am feeling like this self-talk, giving me shit person just won't let go, right? Love yourself. Treat yourself like you would your best friend. Be your own self-coach. And find something you're passionate about. Don't look for a passion. Find something in yourself that you can live with passion. And if you need help, I've mentioned this before, there's a worksheet, I call it the why worksheet, but it just got some questions and things to help you think through. And maybe it would be helpful in finding something that, does motivate you, that you do feel some passion about. I don't think that we mere mortals are those that have a passion that we've got to discover. I think we've got a lot of things we can be passionate about. And it's important to live with passion as opposed to find that one thing. I think that's what stresses us out so much, is that there's one thing that we're not getting. Let's just live with passion. All right, so that is this from the day 7, the 5 of 5. Tomorrow we start a new series. It's a series of 1. I'm going live from the Lost Dog Cafe in Folly Beach. And it is the littlest's birthday, my little Pablo, 15. So join me tomorrow, 10 a.m. And I will see you from share with you the celebration of the littlest Pablo turning 15. All right, you guys have a great day. Thanks so much for joining.